I want to welcome you to today's devotion. We have a very special one today. You see, Christians aren't exempt from problems or troubles. But I tell you what, we have a rock that will hold us in the midst of the storm. So let's go right now to today's devotion. The Apostle Paul wrote to the church of Ephesus, and he talked about all the wonderful history that they had of the apostles and prophets and how they had built the church and what God had done to use them. But he said that there was a chief cornerstone. In other words, the cornerstone, the thing that really held it all together, the one piece that was the rock, the foundation, the firm, strong rock, was Jesus Christ. He is the chief cornerstone. And you know, I discovered that as a Christian, you go through things in life. I wish I could tell you, hey, I've had no problems. I mean, this thing has been a bed of roses following Jesus. No, it hasn't. It's been tough. There have been great times, exciting times, but there have been some tough times too. And you go through those storms, you go through those difficulties, but how do you handle them? You need a rock. You need a foundation. I have a dear friend. He's just been such a blessing to me. I heard about him when I was in college, and then I met him later on in Washington, D.C., where he had a ministry, and we became good friends. He went down to Brazil as a pastor, as a missionary, and he began to work down there, loved the Brazilian people, and he went and ministered among them, and God used he and his wife in a great way. But one day, he came home, and his wife was laying on the floor. She had died of a terrible disease. And he said, Sammy, it was as though I fell into this deep, dark tunnel. And the further I went into it, the darker it got, and the more hopeless and helpless I felt. He said, but then, when I hit the bottom, there was a rock. And that rock began to lift me up, and that rock began to help me to stand. And I want to tell you what, today, that friend of mine, Wade Akins, is going around the world preaching the gospel, sharing Jesus with people all over the world. God's used him in such a mighty way. But you see, in the middle of the storm, it didn't mean that it didn't hurt. That's not what following Jesus means, that you don't have any hurts, that you don't have any sorrows, that you don't have any pains. But what it means is you have a chief cornerstone. That's what Paul wrote to the church of Ephesus. And that chief cornerstone is Jesus Christ. You build on him day by day by day. You may go through something, but you'll stand even though it gets dark, even though you feel like you're going to drown, even though you feel like you're hopeless and helpless. There is a rock that is higher than you. And that rock will lift you up, and that rock is Jesus Christ.